We made it to the train station. Yeah, I usually have not thought about vlogging a city day. So we're gonna take the train in and then we're gonna go to Times Square. It's just gonna be a fun day in the city, and then we're gonna go see Harry Potter. My mom won this lottery. It's called the Friday 40 on TodayTix, and essentially they release 40 tickets to each show at $40. The tickets are definitely not $40 full price, even for the nosebleeds. So I've been waiting to see this one, dependent on when I could win tickets at a cheap price, and thankfully that day is today. Let's go into the city. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. We stopped at the Disney store. We went to Sephora. I picked up a couple things that are on my wish list. We walked around the Bryant Square Holiday Market. There wasn't anything that was like super calling my name, but there's one pair of earrings I'm considering that if they're still there on the walk back, I might get. I bought a rosé in the Harry Potter cup. I use these for SD cards and batteries at home. Don't ask me why, it just made sense. I also bought a butterbeer. I'm praying it's as good as the tap stuff from Universal. It comes in like a cute little bottle. That. So yeah, we're here. I'm excited. They had a lot of cool like AR stuff in the lobby and like photo ops, and it looks fun, and apparently they bring out more merchandise at intermission. So I'm excited. We'll see how this is. I've heard really good things. It's also 3.5 hours. The theater is like so gorgeous. Yeah, so it's been a like fun day so far, and I'll catch up with you guys at intermission and then after the show. We're currently at intermission. I am in the Patronus room, which is one of the really cool AR experiences here. I am blown away. I was like really concerned about this because it's 3.5 hours, and the last long show I went to was Funny Girl at 3 hours, and I could barely sit through that. I was really struggling by the end of the first act. It also wasn't that good of a show, hot take. This is so freaking good. I am like amazed, and like I'm super into theater and art and like all these things. I'm like, how do you make things happen that like don't happen naturally? And there's like a couple of effects like I can't even think of how to explain, and that's saying a lot. So I am like totally amazed by it. I think the only downside, only con, is that it's a very heavy tourist audience, and that means there's a lot of young kids that are too young for the show, and they are very antsy and just not understanding, and they're talking a lot. So that's a little disruptive considering they're right in front of me. Also, a lot of people have pulled their phones out, and then the ushers have to whip a little flashlight at them. So I'd say that was the only con of the show so far, but the show itself is so good, and we got so lucky with our lotto seats. Like, we are doing so well with our lottery seats. I'm so happy. Okay, now it's time to go back in for Act 2. I have to finish my frosé, and then I got my Pygmy Puff, a little owl friend. Turns out this is just like Universal Orlando. We saw a hand come in from the wing that was like, stop, stop, and then they all went off the stage, and then we got the technical difficulty notice. It's just like Universal. So we're currently at a pause, and we'll see what happens. Collection of these because I'm really into production photography. That's like my dream job. I've done a little bit of it on like a regional college level, but nothing like crazy. But yeah, I love looking at the pictures and reading about how these shows get brought to life, and they're usually only like $20-$25, which isn't that bad considering it's like a nice book and there's a lot of work and a lot of people's work who go into it. They resumed the show from the point that they stopped it at, and it ended up being so good. Oh my god, the special effects are absolutely mesmerizing. My final verdict is that I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say story-wise it's like the most compelling show I've seen. It's a good story. It feels very authentic to the books, and I think it feels very authentic to like a modern audience, but like it just wasn't like the best story I've seen on Broadway, because I see a lot of shows, The cast was so talented, and the special effects are really what sold it. Like, there are so many incredible effects and tricks and just like little moments. Like, there's a pool. They have things flying all the time, all over the place. It's so freaking impressive. I can't even begin to describe how impressive it is and how mesmerized I was at some of the tricks. And a lot of them I was able to think about it and be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, this is how it's done, because a lot of physical effects also translate into video and like photo. So it was cool to be like, oh my god, like I never even thought of bringing that into like the real world. Like, it's so cool. So I really enjoyed it. And then after the show, I bought the book, obviously, and then we stopped by the stage door because I just like stage dooring. It's kind of where like the cast come out if they want to, and if they feel like it and want to, they can sign and like take pictures with them again if they want to. The guy who played Scorpius ended coming out, and he signed my program on my playbill, and so did the guy that played Dumbledore. And the guy that played Dumbledore had like a whole conversation with everyone out there who was like telling stories. Apparently his daughter is Sarah Hyland. He was just like a really cool, like nice guy. The guy who played Scorpius was also so nice. We also met an ensemble member quickly, but everyone was just like so nice and down to earth and kind, and it was just a really good time. So we kind of ran back to the train because stage dooring was fun, but like everyone really liked to talk a lot, which like, I'm not complaining about, but also the trains run on a very set schedule. So we're on the train now, and we're going home, and when we get home, I'm gonna get dinner. Hello everyone, I just made it home. It's like 8:30 now. We stopped at a local pizzeria for dinner. I just grabbed a slice. It was super good. But yeah, now I'm home and I'm cleaning up. I have my little signed playbill and my signed program that I gotta put away. It's very fun. And some of the other little things I got today, like from Sephora and also the show. I didn't buy anything at Disney. I think I said this earlier, but they're doing 25% off right now, so I'm just gonna wait the extra time and order it. That's kind of like a more eventful Broadway day for me. As I said earlier, some days I just go see it. I grab dinner and I see a show and then I'm out. But you know, when I have the time, I like wandering around. I like doing things. The one thing I didn't get to today was Schmackery's, which is a really good bakery. Just a little bit, you know, out of Times Square. It's close to the Hell's Kitchen. It's like right down the street from Moulin Rouge. Yeah, but we're going tomorrow because they have really good cheesecake brownies on Mondays, and I have some Like It Hot tickets tomorrow that I got through TDF, so we're gonna go get cheesecake brownies tomorrow, and it wasn't a big push to get it today for going tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more about my New York life, let me know, because I want to like make things for myself again. I like doing it. I just kind of lost the time and like the motivation to. But yeah, this was like a perfect way to get back into it, because the show is such an experience. Like just the lobby alone was, oh my god. I definitely recommend the show in case you're wondering. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will love it. It is like just as mesmerizing, probably more mesmerizing than the parks. If you're a Broadway fan, I definitely recommend it, especially because of the visual effects. Like that is just so impressive, and it shows a lot of like what shows could look like in a few years, like more mainstream, because this is definitely on the cutting edge of some things. This is the theater that Spider-Man was in previously. So they have some of the more elaborate rigging systems already in, some of the more elaborate tech already in, because that show really pushed a lot of things. It didn't end very well, but it pushed a lot. So they have some of it already set up from there. And I'm hoping we see more Broadway shows like this that really, really just go for it and try something new and innovative. But I will say, if you haven't seen the first 8 movies or read all the books, or at least know what happens with enough detail, you might get confused, because they do call back to some earlier characters that aren't like necessarily, you know, just Harry, Hermione, and Ron. There are more characters than that, and it can be confusing if you're not familiar with that. But yeah, that's my day. I am seeing a show tomorrow, and I still have work tomorrow, so I need to go get cleaned up and ready. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Comment any questions you have about Harry Potter, the city, Broadway. If you've seen the show, if you liked it, anything like that, really. Let's just have a little conversation in the comments. And I will see you guys real soon. Have a terrific day.